Hey Deckers, Diablo IV launches publicly today, and we've been through all of the settings and around 20 to 30 hours of early access gameplay, hundreds of your comments on our early footage to find the very best settings for you to run this on the Steam Deck. And I think that I've changed my mind from our very early access best settings video, so you will want to stick around for this one. We will show you some of the other versions just so you can make your own mind up after, and not just take our word for it. But we do recommend to actually run this at the 40Hz cap, high tweaked preset, and no FSR. I'll dive into the full settings in just a second. But as you can see, it looks absolutely glorious on the Steam Deck. No matter which settings you run in town, it's always going to be up high wattage and high usage, so you don't want to stick around in the busy towns too much, as it does heat the deck up and drain that battery somewhat. You can see with our favorite settings here, even out in the wild, with that 40Hz cap, the wattage does stick below the 20 watt range for the most part, and the graphics do look absolutely flawless and keeps that 40 frames per second. Full disclosure, we're running battle.net under the experimental version. If you need a guide for this, we'll link it in the description below. And if you go to compatibility and this box is missing, this is an annoying Steam OS bug and you'll need to restart Steam or restart your Steam Deck to get that compatibility box back. We also are running the full cryo utilities changes and the 4GB UMA buffer fix, which we'll link in our free performance video below if you're not already running those. That's our default these days. Once installed, just set and forget. We also did a video recently of having the high resolution assets installed. I do have this installed again, and this really does make a huge difference, especially running on the higher preset, which you'll see in a minute, as well as reducing some of that frame stutter. So our best settings that we're recommending for this is to actually hit the high preset, but bring the anisotropic filtering down to 8 times and turn off distortion, as well as bring the clutter quality down to high from the highest, change fidelity FX super resolution to off, cap the max foreground FPS to 40, turn the imaging sharpening to 0, and cap the Steam Deck FPS and frame rate at 40 as well. This will give you a very smooth, clean image. It looks absolutely glorious on the Steam Deck screen and will net you around 2 hours battery life in total. That is with a mix of dungeons, open world and in and out of towns, so you may get less if you spend more time in towns. In the dungeons, it does still go up to the 24-25 watt range occasionally, but again, this is usually short-lived, and with so much going on, it's still nice to have all those extra effects. Although saying that you can run this at 60 frames per second, I highly doubt that. This is the medium and high presets uncapped at 60 frames per second with FSR quality mode on, and it does look pretty good in towns. However, when we actually show the frames per second, standing around on FSR quality in Kayavashad with those settings doesn't even hold 40 frames per second standing still, and 60 frames per second on the medium FSR quality is also not really possible in the town. It bounces between the 50 and 60 range and still dips below and pushes that wattage way up to the 28 watt range, meaning it's going to get very hot, and you can see that it pushes the battery life down to around 1.5 hours in total. If we cap it at 40 Hz with the medium FSR balance, it doesn't really gain us much extra over the no FSR and the high, except we do lose a lot of that quality as we don't have the high resolution assets as much in the medium version. So even with FSR balance, you can see in town it still goes up to the 24-25 watt range, but the high FSR quality just looks so much better. So it will be up to you whether you do want to run it with the FSR quality on or off. With the FSR quality mode, it will gain you about an extra 15 to 20 minutes battery life overall, but the blurriness isn't worth it in our book in this one. Out in the outside world with no frame cap, that's 60 frames per second, we are still pushing over 25 watts. So even in the open world, which is generally a lot lighter than other sections, you are still pushing very high wattage and getting that deck very hot around the 85-degree mark. Same with medium FSR quality. With the 60 frames per second, you are going to get that quite happily in the open world most of the time, but again you're pushing 26 watts and nearly 90 degrees on the CPU and GPU, making it extremely hot for the Steam Deck. and you don't want to be keeping it up that high for very long. With the 40Hz high with the FSR quality, it does give you a better balance, but it depends whether you want that blurriness or not, and slightly better battery life over our recommended settings. Let us know in the comments below which one of the settings that you're going to be running, and good luck with the game as it's extremely addictive. I'll leave you with a bit more of the 40Hz mode so you can see the difference between each one without me talking, in case you are interested in the performance. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the video.